In this video you will know from a real story of a citizen from Russia from time of the USSR from 19th, how people lived during the USSR in 19th. I'll tell you about one real story with all proofs about this hard time. I think that many of you already know that from time of 19th, life in our Russia today, in modern Russia, changed very much, because during 19th much people killed each other. There were much different gangs and bands in Russia, also harsh corruptions and much other bad things. But today we have so life. Of course, you know about modern situation in the world and situation with Ukraine, but now we live better than the people lived during 19th, and now you will know how people really lived in 19th. I was born in 1973. In 1990 I entered the university. I remember the end of the 18th, how everyone lived in anticipation of changes. At night we watched the meetings of the Supreme Soviet of the USSR and the program Vzгляд. And during the day we discussed violently at school and at work who said what and how. And then how everything collapsed. Parents stopped paying salaries. All savings were frozen in Sberbank and they disappeared. My scholarship turned from a rather weighty 70 rubles into some trifle with a bunch of zeros. We were fed potatoes from the side, which we dragged home by train. My record is 43 kilograms at a time, and also disgusting, tasting, humiliating humanitarian aid. It was given to my grandparents. They couldn't eat this sausage stuffing, they gave it to us. Once at my mother's place at work they sold frozen chicken thighs in packages on the cheap. I arrived and dragged 2 packages of 10 kilograms to the house, then ate for 2 months. It was almost impossible to earn extra money. The crews literally fought for unloading trucks and wagons. Once we unloaded a truck with alcohol oil with classmates and hid several bottles in the snow. Then we drank and got poisoned, but recovered. I remember how I wanted a leather jacket. It was fashionable then. My dear mother saved up for a long time, and we went and bought this jacket in 1991. But we were deceived. The skin was bad and quickly dried off. My father worked part-time and kept trying to invest money somewhere, and he was cheated every time, because he was a Soviet man, honest, and there was a sea of crooks all around. And now vouchers with my father were stolen by crooks. But mom invested a voucher in Gazprom shares, then sold these shares in 2012 for 4,000 rubles. They were cutting each other all around. Sometimes shoots and explosions were heard at night. A whole alley of bandits. Graves appeared in our Perovsky cemetery. In restaurants where we wouldn't have been allowed to smell, Yeltsin-Sakhalin officials walked. But sometimes they were also killed. It was difficult to make out who was an official, who was a businessman, and who was a bandit. Usually these were related professions. 2 people were killed in our entrance. I don't know why, but I remember how we walked around a puddle of blood in the morning. At our dacha, our neighbor was a businessman. He got rich abruptly. He almost built a big brick house, then drunkenly crushed 2 people to death with his Mercedes. Couldn't get away, and he was put in jail, then killed in prison for debts. And the house stood without a roof for 10 years, until another person bought it on the cheap. Then I finished my studies, found a job in 1996. They began to pay a salary, albeit a small one. My father and I began to earn engineering. We saved up something, and then the boom default on 1998. As I remember now, we saved up in rubles, in terms of dollars, 20,000. And when I saw Yeltsin drunken face on TV, there will be no devaluation, you will get it. I immediately told my father, let's change all the money for dollars and keep it at home. He didn't agree, only half was changed, so the rest of the money was burned. In 2 months the dollar has tripled in price and all prices have risen. Since the beginning of the 2000s, life has become somehow calmer. Then money appeared in the family, a car was bought, the cottage was completed. It was a rotten time, the 19th. I can't say anything particularly good, except that I was young, hoped for the best, and somehow everything was easier to bear. I couldn't stand it now, probably as many people couldn't stand it then. And you know guys, I wouldn't want to live during 19th, because it was a really hard time for Russia, for young people and for adult people, because people didn't have money, they didn't get salaries. Also young people didn't have even usual food, and food which we have now on our tables, it's rich food if we will compare it with 19th. Also I have my personal example, it's my uncle. I've buried my uncle several days ago, but my uncle was born during 19th, and after 19th, in the start of 2000s, he got with bands and gangs, and for this he was put in jail several times because he has stolen things, money, and he did other bad things. He was a bandit, yes guys, and so honestly I wouldn't want to live so, because I want to build my career, I want to have a clean mind and get better my future. And honestly, I'm glad that I was born during 2000s. What do you think about 19th in Russia? And what can you tell me about your hard times in your country? It will be very interesting for me and for all people who will read these comments under this video. Write about it, subscribe to my channel, like this video, share on social networks, and see you later guys. Bye bye.